Hello, everybody who's listening or watching. Thank you for tuning in to our episode She-Hulk episode 2 review. Little mini things, little mini ones,
Little baby ones.
little red rockets, um, little small dog red rockets.
Small.
Um,
Goddamn.
um. So episode 2 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
We're Superhuman Law is the episode title here.
Superhuman Law.
And
Well,
boy, nothing happens with it.
I hate this show. I do. I do. I really do. And like I was one of those people who gave it like I was like just wait till it comes out and then judge it. In the first episode, I was like, I don't know. This one was just like you fucked this one up.
I know where we were nervous in the first episode about I think this is gonna get cringy. My God, did it get cringy?
Oh,
And
dude.
it got cringy quick.
And also the CGI looks awful. It looks so bad. Like
Well, we don't have the Hulk, being like the best looking CGI from like Avengers dollars, so everything else just looks like trash.
She just looks more and more like Fiona. You know? She looks like Fiona.
It's interesting how they like model her up and change her entire facial structure. Like it does not look like the same actress. Like, and I know they're supposed to be like, the Hulk doesn't look like,
No, he looks like Mark
at all.
Ruffalo now, dude.
I mean,
like
in a bit, like because they've used the most expensive facial tracking software ever. To
yeah. Well, they
they
invented it, yes. But either way, let's. So
we'll get into it.
What happens in this episode?
All right, so we start off with all the news reports, like recapping everybody.
Oh, right. Titania was the Kool-Aid Man's name.
Which is she's the chick from The Good Place.
Yeah, I don't watch that either.
I was like, where was she from? But she's from that. But she has like the tiniest speaking role in this. Which sure.
But she comes in, she fucks up the lady, and I guess there's a cool dynamic of her like struggling, like her morality, like what was I supposed to do? Just let them, which is like the kind of like the whole thing from like Man of Steel. Remember, like 10 years ago, where it's like, oh, was Clark supposed to, save the bus or let them all drown?
Right.
But all these law firms are like, hey, no thanks. Besides for the one that wants a superhero, and he doesn't want to hire Jen necessarily. He wants to hire She-Hulk as the attorney.
Wants the She-Hulk.
Yeah.
But like jumping, you're jumping ahead a little bit in the very beginning, like when they're like, she's at the bar and everything. Like we're already hit with a lot of that. Like her coworker comes up to her. And he's like, you're doing this for attention. This look, the way that you're putting your body out there for attention. And then he literally turns and he's like, there's a hot girl over there. I'm gonna go talk to it.
I remember that happened. Me and Liz both rolled our eyes. We were just like, oh my God, come on.
Yeah. And then they lay it on more with like, I get that they're trying, like, again, the underlying statement for all of this. I get that they're trying to approach topics broach these topics. Like, this one right here, they're like, do the Avengers offer healthcare? Do they offer maternity leave? Do they offer pension? Like they're going into like, all the millennials and Gen Z are getting screwed over by corporate America. I'm going to relate to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like, could this be any more heavy-handed?
Oh, yeah. And like the worst part was that sequence when she's walking through the firm and she was like, she was saying that thing about how like she can't even enjoy her new job because she has to always think about whatever. And then she walks past the boardroom of old white men just laughing. And then
they're just like money.
He says, what do you think? And she goes, agnostic, which like I don't even get why she would say that. And then he goes,
it just means like indifferent.
Yeah, he just goes, interesting, and walks away. And she goes, I'm going to spend the next year worrying about that. It's just like, okay,
yeah,
like whatever.
It's like they choose to do the aside to the audience whenever they want when it doesn't serve any purpose. Like you did a whole thing where like she's talking about it to explain the situation, and then like, yeah, it doesn't pay attention to what he says, and then that's a joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, you set up that whole thing kind of like literally for exposition and then a bad joke. Like, and then you don't like do it for the rest of the show.
What did you think of What did you think of when she says, or rather, when she decides to take on Blonsky,
Hmm.
and you hear his perspective all these years later? I thought
I
that
thought
was kind of cool
that was fun because he
because he
took,
has a good point.
he took pokes at the American government, like, being like, I thought I was going to be the next Captain America. And then I got screwed over. So they did a good job at making him like, like the plight of him,
Yeah,
because there would have been no way, like right off the bat, it's just like, well, no, she's not going to take that job because she's not going to represent him. And it's like, well, he's got a good argument.
he does. He does. It was weird how it was weird how like him and Hulk had patched things up, and I was just like, yeah, but I've been waiting for that fight for years.
Ah, dude, I
Uh,
know. I was like, you took that off the table.
yeah. Um. So the other thing that happens in that scene when she calls the Hulk to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take this," pretty much. He tells her that I was literally a different person back then. I was like, that's hilarious because that was Ed Norton in that movie, and
He was literally a different person.
you are
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo. So I like that they addressed that. I thought that was fun wink and a
Yeah.
nod, But everything else around that was just like, oh my god, what like. And here's the thing, I don't want to dislike this, and I don't think that the topics that they're choosing to talk about are like taboo or like oh no, my manly sensibility. Like, it's just the
Yeah. It's not.
presentation of it sucks. Like, I'm sorry, it's not good. We have seen stuff like that. Look at The Handmaid's Tale. Like, that whole thing is like, Radfem's worst nightmare, and it's presented awesomely. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, where this is like just
Yeah.
beat me over the head with it.
I think a really good parallel about this, and it's like, because so in this episode we meet her family, and everybody's weird and kind of like quirky and like pokey and just like, almost
Yeah.
like middle America family. I
Yes.
was like, these people I don't care about. That, like, if we look at like Miss Marvel and how they depict that family and how every character had such distinct kind of like roles and fun and motive. I know that they were longer stretched out characters in the series, but every one of them had such a character and a uniquely built out personality that, like, I was like, I don't care about a single person in their family. It's not funny. This is not working. Like,
Yeah.
it just shows that she's an outcast in her family. Like,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Um.
Like, thanks for half of the episode literally being that.
Yeah. So, and I guess to really cap this all off, here's what I find to be interesting. That ship that he's on at the end, that Hulk is on
Yeah.
at the end. So he's on the ship that's
Spaceship.
from Sakaar,
Hmm.
like where not the Collector, the Grandmaster was, where he was a gladiator and everything last time he was Crazy Hulk.
Yeah.
So, um, if he's just on that ship comfortably, why did it basically cause them to have a car accident in the first episode?
Well, because she swerved off the road.
Yeah, I get that, but like, if it was a friendly, why wouldn't it just like ride up beside him or like ride behind
Yeah.
the, like, why would it just come right in front of him and try to cut him off? You know what
Why
I
was it
mean?
so
Like,
aggressive?
that's what I'm
Basically, yeah.
saying. Why is it so goddamn aggressive? So
Because we needed plot, Pat.
yeah, we needed something to happen. So there was that, and then the other thing is that, like, so he's flying off into space, right? First of all, how the
Able to call
fuck
on his
does he have
phone.
cell service? Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Verizon.
So we out there. Um, Verizon, we
We
out there.
out
We
there.
out there. Um, so anyway, the whole theory is that now this is like World War Hulk,
Right.
and that Universal next year loses the rights to make a solo Hulk film, so it'll go back to Marvel. So now they're gearing up to make that World War Hulk movie they've been waiting on.
Which is so interesting because, like, Mark Ruffalo's old.
I
Like,
know.
how
Like,
how
how old
many
is he?
how many more Hulk movies are we gonna get with him as? Don't get me wrong, I love him as the Hulk. It's just like again, like
He's
the thing where we're
54. That's fine.
yeah, that's all right. If they
That's
give him like a
fine.
little bit more grizzled,
If
like
he was
yeah, that
like
could work.
60, if he was like 60 and he doesn't just be the professor at that point, then that's kind of weird.
Well, he's 54, you said?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it'll take a year and then it'll probably be like 3 years before that comes out,
He's
no?
got one good one in him. You know what I mean?
He's
He's
got
got
one.
one good one in him. Maybe two if they can squeeze it
Yeah.
in. Um,
Was there anything in this episode you liked?
yeah, I liked the fucking Emil Blonsky perspective thing. I thought that was
Mhm.
interesting. His character is like another like weird, like quirky, like Marvel villain, like Ben Mendo, not Ben Mendo.
Yeah.
Trevor Slattery. You know who I'm talking about? God, what's his Ben
What's
Kingsley?
his
Ben
Ben,
Kingsley
yeah.
when he played the Mandarin. You know that dude. Um, it's pretty good, right?
Commander.
Um,
Yeah.
so um, so it kind of had that like quirkiness to it. It's just like, why can't they just be like menacing villains again? You know what I
I
mean?
know. There's no
However,
weight.
yeah, because like I remember Emil Blonsky from the first Hulk movie, and like regardless of his perspective, they didn't write that movie for him to have a perspective. That was him squarely as the antagonist the entire time. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like you weren't
Yeah.
supposed to be rooting for him. So,
Nope.
but I do like that they introduced it here. I think there's a lot of meat on the bones there. I don't have confidence in them to figure it out though. And
No.
I like that the Hulk is now on his way to start a world war for whatever reason. Um,
Because he can.
the one last thing that I do want to talk about in this episode specifically is, did you see the Wolverine cameo?
No, I didn't.
So it's not really a Wolverine cameo. I speak like an idiot. It's like a Easter egg when she's on that website looking at like like clickbait
Oh,
articles.
yeah.
On the right hand side, on the right rail, the third box down, um, she's looking at. I mean, there's a like related post thing that says like, man with claws like fights in bar brawl in
No
Canada,
kidding.
some shit like that. Yeah, I was just
That's
like,
cool.
oh, okay.
Like we're getting
We're
there. All
getting
right.
there. We're getting there. And the funny part is that like every fucking time they're doing something, they're like, the X-Men is coming. The X-Men are finally on their way. The X-Men are coming to the MCU. This is it. They're on the. It's just like, yo, they're just gonna be there. Like
Right.
that's, you know what I mean. They're not. They're just gonna be there, and we just haven't told those stories, and they weren't
Yeah,
involved.
exactly.
You know, whatever. Fuck you. Shut up. We didn't have the rights, so shut up.
We didn't have it yet. You can
You didn't
wait
have
and
it
we'll get
right.
it.
Yeah, just shut up.
Did
And there it
was that a
was. I was
yeah, right
right.
there.
There it was.
Yep. Was that a Batman reference in the beginning that she talks about? She says she's like, I don't want to be a vigilante. Vigilantes are like billionaires, narcissists, and adult orphans.
Um, yeah, but
Like,
also like Tony Stark, Captain
yeah, he was
America,
right.
Mark Ruffalo,
Well, no, like
actual Mark Ruffalo.
billionaire, narcissist, adult orphan, which is definitely Tony Stark. But
Yes.
I was like, I wonder if
I
they're doing
thought
a
it was like a
Batman
multiple
pokey thing.
choice. I thought it was like this, or all of the
Oh,
above.
maybe.
You
I
know?
was just like, I just hear adult orphan and I'm like Batman.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. The only other thing I kind of liked about it was they do a cool job of making Jen feel really small when she's not the Hulk with like camera angles. Like
Mm-hmm.
when she was walking into that massive building where she's starting to work, like she's like a tiny person on the door, basically. Like it's got cool perspective with the shots. And she really is just like carrying the entire show with her acting.
Yes.
She's just given like a pile of dog
Yeah,
shit
she's
to act
okay. I
with.
don't dislike her. It's just the material she's given sucks.
Exactly. Which I'm like, she's doing a great job with horrible material.
Yes.
And that's really frustrating to watch.
Yes. So, if you were to give this a 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
God, this one's like a 3.
Yeah, I'd
If
give it a
like, maybe
3.
like a 2 or a
Yeah, I'd
3.
give
It's
it like a
just
2 or a 3. It sucks ass.
this one I think was supposed to be one of the first episodes, because the first episode technically in this series was closer to the end of the it was gonna be like episode 7 or 8, but then everybody was like, "Well, we need to, like, tell how she got here." So they re-edited a bunch of crap. I read this online, I
Wait,
think it might be true.
what?
I could I'm not the source could be wrong or right, but, like, that's what I read was a lot of what episode 1 was pulled from episode 8 because they were gonna, like I don't know. They weren't gonna do, like, some flashbacky stuff or whatever,
What
but
the
then
fuck? I'll have to look that up, but that's wild. But yeah,
check
this
check it out.
sucks.
I could be wrong, let us know if I'm wrong,
But
but
yeah, I'll check it out. But yeah, this sucks. So I won't be watching it. Or
we only
I
have 8 we
don't
only have
watch
8.
this.
We only have 8, we're a quarter of the way done.
There's only 8? There's 8?
Isn't there?
No, I think it's 6. We're a third of the way done.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, dude, you know how this works now.
Oh, jeez. Let
They
me
suck.
see, yeah. Is it really only gonna be 6
Pretty sure
episodes?
I'll look it up right now.
Dude, that's absolutely hysterical. Yeah, we'll figure it out, but 6 or 8, regardless, we are 20 to 33% done.
Oh,
I'll
wait,
take
wait,
it
wait,
from
hold
there.
on.
No, 9. 9
Apparently 10.
episodes.
Apparently 10.
10?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so maybe, maybe episode 5 around that will get good?
Maybe. We'll see. But
See.
right now, it's not good. It's not doing itself any favors. So,
Mm.
all right. Well, that's all from us this week. Well, I guess on this, and then we'll see you guys on Monday morning for the normal show.
Yeah.
Latour. Latour.